This is day 1065 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. If you'd like to sponsor the upcoming share more of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi, please contact me directly. We very greatly appreciate it. You're doing your day at Siman Sadi base. Sif Lamates to Mem Zayin. Lamates. Maybe say maybe that say from Mitzvah's Chai, but Nova can get a top show, Nova can get a rake on. We're talking about this difficult issue about where a drop of milk falls on the outside of a pot of meat and hot pot of meat on the fire, and whether it makes a difference when it falls opposite the substance which is in the pot or opposite the empty part of the pot. So same mitzvahs machalik between nofel keneged hapsha nofel keneged the nekem, whether it falls opposite the substance or opposite the empty part. The keneged hapsha mutter. If it's opposite the contents, it's mutter shishim matavsha negative of the 60 in the cooked dish to cancel the drop. The Yimanavshach. No matter which way you look at it. If it penetrates the inside, diffuses there, we went into the cooked dish and was negated by 60. But it does not penetrate, it does not diffuse. It's standing on the outside of the vein of the Lotikon, it's never going to get in no matter what. This you can't say that now, it's going to just enter the wall of the pot. And then as time passes, you're going to say it's going to go into the contents. The other the other was absorbed in the pot. The zayin for a cloud doesn't make sense. Only or it either enters completely, or it doesn't enter completely. Therefore, the pot should also be kosher under these circumstances. It didn't diffuse now. Also, in the second cooking, it should not be was not going to penetrate. The custom is to always ask the kedera because we can always do hagola. Mem, if the drop fell opposite the empty part of the pot, then a substantial part of the pot becomes also the maybe it didn't penetrate to the cooked part of the contents. She's by the top, she's being negated in the cooked the contents. She only got to right on top of the contents. So that the fusion remains in the pot in the place where it's empty. Maybe there isn't enough in the contents to negate the penetration in the upper part of the pot. Therefore, the pot is also, according to the letter of the law, the cooked dish is permitted. So you have no choice. You can't pour it out because you're pouring it into the upper part of the pot. You have to leave it in the pot until it cools down. Then pour it out. You pour it out when it's still hot. Maybe you're going to pour it out by the part of the and that which is now empty part, which came also. I don't do there. We don't know. Maybe the penetration circumnavigated the entire vessel. And when he pours, his cooked dish will be usher from the isser in the forbidden part substance which is in the pot itself. Maybe you'll have another idea, which is you're going to pierce the bottom of the pot and let the cooked food out that way. No, the Shemadei Nua won't work because maybe as you shake the pot by piercing the hole, the cooked dish touches the empty part, which is the questionable part. There's the Pasuk of Shulchan Aruch, and this is the way the Shulchan Aruch paskins. The bracket says, I'm astounded because the Enam will sheyara b'tzad acher, that it doesn't work to pour on the other side. The shema yinaneh, because you might shake ayin shom. You don't need that. Who says that the diffusion did not go to the entire circumference of the pot? Because Ramah writes the dafka makter shor. It's only if the pot is old. But if it's new, so you need 60 corresponding to the drop itself. The common siman tzayik dal gabe tzayik ches gabe kaf, as we shall see by spoon akan l'shono. End quote for the Ramah. Klomar, feel benova atipa keneged. Harekon, even if the drop fell opposite the empty part, it's still permitted. But the empty part, it really doesn't matter if it's new or not. Because well, I'm not sure what he means by that. But he says since we're cooking it, it's not. I guess the part all of it is not considered being new. No, maybe since the concern is maybe the drop only diffused in the corresponding to empty space, not the place of the cooked dish. So the cooked dish didn't diffuse opposite the empty part. And if it penetrated above the place where it's being cooked, goes up, must come down. So then the drop must have penetrated below below the empty place. You don't be concerned that the bubbling of the cooked dish went on top of the cooked dish. Then it rested. There's a better word I'm looking for. Desisted from boiling. When the trap pulls in, it's no longer a new pot. We're not concerned with so much. To that extent. For the Madesh, that's fake. There's this fake here. Maybe the boiling part did not go higher than the empty part. Also, and if it did go higher, maybe the drop itself then diffused throughout the cooked dish and was nullified. That's also something. You can't eat fake, so it's fake in that case. Men base, but you should know the female she's bar of Sim Tzadik Ches, according to what you're going to see in Sim Tzadik Ches. The Chumra Yesh Shamar B'Kli Cheres that Kli Nas and Avela, that we're machmir to say that Kli Cheres becomes an Avela. Again, Ein Din Zeh, the Kli Chadash Rak B'Chalav. This halacha, the new keli only applies by milk. Then filas chalav shu heter lo shaykh lo mash tas and avela. Good point. Because the milk, which is now heter, is not. You can't say tas and avela. Filas iser yesh l'sogam b'chadasha, but it's a new. If it's an old dish, and well, I should say I scrap that. It's a new dish. If it's a new pot, if the iser fell yesh l'sogam b'chadasha, so that's also a new one. But then we're going to see the gufa ches lo shaykh lo mash tas and avela. Even there, the powder itself cannot become the vela. If it has absorption of meat and food and beverage, we say shabula yasek v'nevela. So there was absorption, should become a nevela. According to feed varav, I guess. It doesn't say the feed varav. It says the feed zeh. לפי זה, גם לפי עשר יש להרוס כמחדש ממש. Says if it's really new, then there's nothing for it to become an avela in the wall of the kli with. So it's saying that the avela only applies to food substance, not to the structure of the pot, even if the structure is kli cheres. Anytime it's after 24 hours, it hasn't been used for 24 hours, it's halach like a new vessel. Because whatever's inside, whatever is inside the walls is no begam, lo san avela. It has an off taste and can't become an avela. These halachas will be clarified there. Mem Gimel, was there a shekasva to Arukh? That's a Turn right? The Nagu last section of that the velt has a minhag to aser, and if it didn't fall opposite the sauce, klomar lesor gam as a tavshil, the aser even the cooked dish. The great acharim disagree. Velonis pasha minhag azev loshmanu. We didn't, so we never heard such a minhag to aser the tavshil. Came much closer the yesh mishamat to b'shas atraged eshishim. And so that there are those who permit if you're under pressure by 6 through 60. I feel even if it's not opposite the source, shokeish not opposite the fire. And say them in a pashut the bias. It's a widespread custom. All the examples are that's shishim nega noifel. They require 60 corresponding to whatever fell. And it doesn't matter if it's opposite the rotev and the tavshil. the sauce and the cooked dish. Upain side chicken egg or the side opposite the fire. Upain side shloken egg and the opposite the fire. Shim look at das Rashi with Teshuvah Sifla Amad Hey, because we all like Rashi says the fire Chamakum Shnofim with Bafei Batavshil. Where it falls, it does penetrate and diffuse in the cooked dish. So therefore, the 60 it's mutter no matter what. If there isn't 60, it's also no matter what. We ask the pot. That's all about the food. The pot we ask no matter what. Affiliate shishim nega. And I felt even a 60 corresponding to that which fell down. So I said because it's easy to do agola, but he says because we're afraid there's a mashu which remains in the pot in the wall of the pot in the wall pot. I would say that if you couldn't do agola, that might not apply. Mendal, Kasser Ben Rama. Sorry, it's interrupted there. Mendal, Kasser Ben Rama. Rama writes, the Yarek Miyad Katav Shel Shmili, pour out the cooked dish from the pot, B'tzad Acher, and the other side. Shalol Kenegatipa not occurs not on the side where the drop fell. If they cooked in the pot a different cooked dish, Dina Kol Pam Rishon. Allah is like the first time. Hakan Sholav. Zesh Kos beyond that which you said to pour immediately, which we said before is not such a good idea. Zeok Shnova Negar Rotav. That's only if the pot the drop fell opposite the sauce. Mitan Chashash Mifafeh Yosim Mekamech. I'm concerned lest it diffuse more. Avashloka Negar Rotav. But if it's not opposite the sauce, Tobi Yisrael Aniach Litztanei. Was glad that then you should leave it to become cold. I could say to me, Techel Aros Latavshil. But by us, no matter what, we immediately pour out the cooked dish. Start with our ovens and I assume our pots to tell precisely where it fell. Was it opposite the sauce or opposite the empty part? But most of the time it's opposite the empty part, the sauce. English kuchen, and in English pots, English kitchens. I think it's English pot. You always cook with a cover. And then it doesn't matter. Everything everything is mixed up, even the empty part. So if most of the time we cook on the fire, it's covered. So then it's always considered that it's connected. I wrote that tantamount. I wrote that. If that which you wrote, if you cook in the pot another dish, like the first time beer means to say low tame, but don't say that already diffused in the first cooked dish. The low particular, we're not sure about that. The second time you also need 60 corresponding to the first drop. Obviously it's on the same day in which you cook the first dish. You cook next to no matter what. At that point. Because even if the first time the drop was opposite the sauce. The second time wasn't opposite the sauce. The second time there was less contents in the first time. Kanke mutter ayin sham, it's also mutter. Shus filed ein chatima chaticha sakli nasa nevela. Because he holds that the part of the, I'm not sure he is a part of the keli, the cut of the keli, literally. I guess he means the that slice of the pot doesn't become nevela. Of course, we said according to us, there's no distinction anyway. We always hold that that it's like it's all. There's no. It's tantamount to having no empty part. Membav enough. If a drop of milk fell in a pot where a cooked dish was cooked, it was not milk or meat or milk. Parva, and it's new pot, or it's not the same, but has to be used the same day. But within 24 hours, you then cook meat in it, I feel like shishim negra tipa, even there isn't 60 corresponding to the drop. Lo batav shiv lo bisho basa sheni, not the first time around when it fell, and not the second time when you cook the meat. Mutar basa marashal. The meat is mutar no matter what. Imi koydem lo havra tipa latav shil. Before the drop did not pass into the cooked dish. Agam babasol, it's not going to pass into the meat. Fim over even in tchil, and even passed in the first time. Come kamarei ein bakdera cholav. The pot didn't have milk. Rakshira mura b'tavshil, and therefore the only milk you have to take into account is the shear which gets mixed up in the cooked dish. The better lochash v'yakol chaticha kabliya. The better lochash v'yakol chaticha babliya atzma. Because in the heter you don't consider all of the part which is or the part which had which is in the pot, like the blia itself. So the corresponding to whatever got mixed in, we assume that there's shishim. Initially fell not opposite the cooked part, the dish. Now fell opposite the meat. So shishim you need 60 in the meat corresponding to that drop, not the partial amount. Because they're afraid the lid before didn't go inside. Because it wasn't opposite the sauce. Now it goes into one side. But they're learning so and the pot did not become also previously because it was new or wasn't used that day. If a gazais of milk, now we're up to gazais, substantial, falls into a pot of water, which is new, or in a basyoma, not basyoma, and then within 24 hours, you cook meat inside, and so shishim al-keneged erech ha'cholam mura b'mayim. You only need 60 corresponding to the amount of milk, the ratio of milk, which was diffused in the water, which is cooked in the water. The im kisok there, if you cover the pot, have a ton negative rotav, like we said. It's always like it's opposite the sauce. I feel nafesh looking like rotav, it fell not opposite the sauce. Mishum de kisok, because through the cover, only marasichus, on account of the cover, only marasichus on the mala, the steam rise up to the top, which is rubbed in near Bechisav Siv Zayin, like we learned in the halacha of shaking and covering. Chenim near Yafa Yafa, Kankin near Kenev, so shook it very well. The same principle should apply. Ma'asad Siv Mem Gimel Mem Daled. Mem Zayin. Kasser Rabbeinu Ramah B'Siv Zayin Im Nishpach L'Cholob Oshar Iser Roteach. If a milk spilled or any other boiling prohibition ala karka on the ground, you put a hot pot on that. If whatever is poured is not by the fire, this is on the ground. It's only like it's only klisheni. Asura to belek tzas. The pot is also because it's belek a little bit, but the cooked dish inside is mutter. The tatoi gavar, because whatever's on the bottom is what determines the status in terms of temperature. Period. Okay, and tatagav is a cliche. When you pour from a hot pot into a cold pot, if it gets interrupted, the stuff which is being poured gets interrupted. Before it gets to the cold pot, it's like a klisheni. You only talk if it's not stopped. Habikiroi, that's iriklerishon. And the bottom pot, the cold pot, will become usher if the hand jerks back when it touches the poured amount, which is pouring in, which is going touches the pot. Tavshim b'toch shari. Oh no, that's close. Okay, but it directly touches the pot itself. When it touches the pot becomes usher. The tavshim b'toch shari. But the cooked dish inside lower pot is mutter. The ain't iri also rak de klipa. Iri only has de klipa. And there's generally 60 devato de klipa. There he chama v'krishon. The pot bottom is hot. It's klirishon koshkin on it certainly was by the fire. On the fire, if you look at sonin, even if the pour what's being poured is cold, hakol aser. Everything is forbidden. That's all you go for. And its bottom determines. It's like cold into hot. The complete it's completely awesome. That's the Ramah. The tomorrow the Arukh HaShulchan will elaborate on the Ramah.